All right, let's talk about something that happens in pretty much every workplace. You know that feeling when it seems like you and your colleagues are speaking completely different languages? Well, today we're diving into some insights from gender dynamics in executive communication to figure out why that might be. We're going to see how our communication styles, especially for leaders, could be a huge part of the puzzle. So let's get right into it.
So picture this. You just walked out of a meeting. You thought you were being perfectly clear, but you see the blank stares, or you get responses that are way off base. It's so frustrating, right? And it makes you wonder, what did I miss? Where did that go wrong?
You know, the source we're looking at today has a really fascinating take on this. It basically argues that the problem often isn't about what we're saying, it's about how we're saying it. The whole idea here is that there can be some really distinct differences in communication styles, especially when you look at male and female leaders.
And here it is, the core idea from our source, plain and simple. Now, this isn't about saying one style is better than the other, not at all. It's really just an observation that, hey, they're different. And that simple observation leads to a much bigger question. What exactly are these differences, and how do they actually show up in our day-to-day work? Okay, so if these differences exist, where do we actually see them? I mean, it's one thing to talk about it as a vague idea, but the source we're using gets really specific. It actually pinpoints 3 key areas in our communication where these styles are most obvious. Let's break those down. So this gives us a really practical way to look at it. The source tells us to pay attention to 3 things: listening skills, nonverbal communication, and the way we give feedback. Just think about your last meeting. When it comes to listening, are some people trying to get straight to the bottom line while others are trying to build consensus? And what about body language, nonverbals? Do some leaders use it to project authority while others use it to build rapport? And then there's feedback. Is it super direct, just get to the point, or is it more indirect, maybe a bit more encouraging? These are the real-world situations where you can see these different styles in action. Okay, so we've got these possible differences in how we listen, our body language, and how we give feedback. But so what? What's the actual impact of all this? Well, the source brings it all back to a place we all know very well, the meeting room. Let's take a look at how just being aware of this stuff or not can totally change the game. And this right here is the absolute key. The source makes it clear that simply knowing that these different styles are out there can be a huge game changer. This isn't just some abstract academic theory. It has a real direct impact on how well your team actually works together. It's what moves you from accidentally talking past each other to intentionally communicating and collaborating. This really lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, if we're unaware, we get tangled up in misinterpretations. We have those meetings that just seem to go in circles and get nothing done. But look at the other side. When we're aware, we have an opportunity. We can start to understand different approaches, and that leads to way more effective teamwork. It's really the difference between friction and flow.
So as we wrap things up here, the focus really shifts from just understanding this idea to actually using it. We've seen that being aware is the key. So now let's turn that lens back on ourselves and our own work lives.
Now that you have this framework in mind, what patterns have you noticed in your own workplace? Think about your last few meetings, your recent conversations. When you look at them through this new lens, what do you start to see? Just noticing these dynamics, that's the first step to becoming a much more effective communicator. Thanks for digging into this with me.